The phenomenon, the pride of the Philippines, Alex Eala.
There's no way I could ever be that practical, that self-aware. I'm an even bigger fan after speaking with her. Massive fan. Those words came from Andy Roddick, former world #1.
Hello, everyone.
You've been a gift to tennis, and you're pulling all of those fans with you.
2003 U.S. Open champion. A man who has lived 43 years on this earth and spent decades inside professional tennis. And he said them about a 20-year-old from Manila who just made him rethink what maturity looks like under pressure. Alex Eala stepped into Roddick's podcast fresh off a 3-hour, 20-minute battle in Miami. She walked out after leaving a Grand Slam champion stunned into a public confession. The Served with Andy Roddick episode dropped March 25th, recorded during the Miami Open while Ella was still recovering from a tough round of 16 loss to Carolina Muchova.
As you know, all Filipinos are following every tournament that she's playing and now participation in Linz, Austria. So
she entered that discussion ranked 46th in the world, down from a career high 29 she reached just 9 days earlier. This week she begins her 2026 clay court debut at the Upper Austria Ladies Linz Open. Tough draw.
She's in Linz already, and we are celebrating our 35th anniversary this year.
Former Grand Slam champions potentially waiting in the early rounds. The surface shift everyone has been watching for. But what happened inside that 30-minute interview changed how one of the sport's sharpest minds talks about her future. The WTA Tour has an issue. Not a scandal, not a crisis. A gap. The gap between hype and substance. Between young talent that creates headlines and young talent that can carry the weight of those headlines without breaking. Between players who say the right things and players who truly understand why those things matter. Roddick sees it. He has watched rising stars crumble under the storm of popularity. He has seen national trailblazers fall under the pressure of representing millions. He has interviewed enough players to know the difference between media training and real self-awareness. And then he sat down with Alex Eala. What followed was not an interview where a legend hyped a prospect. It was an interview where a legend openly admitted on his own platform that the 20-year-old sitting across from him had something he never possessed at her age. Roddick opened his Poston Reaction segment with co-host Yen Veritime by calling the conversation a lesson in self-awareness. Not impressive for her age, not promising, a lesson for him. I'm sitting here at 43 years old, having been in this tennis game for a long time, he said. And I'm thinking, there's no way I could ever be that practical, that self-aware, especially in the eye of the popularity storm and the responsibility that comes with that position. The popularity storm, the responsibility. Roddick was not referring to handling press conferences or managing social media. He was talking about carrying the dreams of an entire nation while cameras follow every mistake. Eala is the first player from the Philippines to break the WTA Top 100, the first to reach a WTA 1000 semifinal, the first to crack the top 30. Every match she plays, 115 million Filipinos are watching. Every loss is analyzed. Every win becomes a national celebration. And according to the man who once carried American tennis on his shoulders, she handles that pressure with a composure he could not match in his prime. The proof was right there in Miami. March 19th, a 3-hour, 20-minute marathon against Laura Siegund. Down a set, fought back in a second-set tie-break, finished in 3. The longest match of her professional career, and she walked off court looking like she had just completed a practice session. 2 days later, straight sets over Magda Linette 63-76. Efficient, clinical, no drop after the emotional drain. Then Muchova delivered reality in the round of 16, 6-0, 6-2. The kind of loss that exposes every flaw, the kind of scoreline that makes you question whether you belong at this level. Ella took that defeat on March 23rd. By March 25th, she was sitting across from Roddick discussing the mental side of the sport with a level of clarity that made a former world #1 pause and recalibrate. Fans who have followed her rise noticed something the mainstream missed. This was not luck. This was not a hot streak. This was a player who understood the mission from day one. Roddick confirmed what you already knew. He called her the trailblazer from her country and then delivered the line that made tennis media explode. She is what a gift she is to us. Not to the Philippines, to us, to the sport, to everyone watching. I was fascinated before I talked to her. Roddick continued. I'm an even bigger fan after speaking with her. Massive fan. Can't say enough about what she's doing for the sport. Andy Roddick does not hand out compliments like participation trophies. He won 32 ATP titles. He spent 13 weeks at world number 1. He reached 4 Grand Slam finals and won 1. He retired in 2012 and has spent the last decade building one of the most respected voices in tennis media precisely because he refuses to hype players he does not believe in. When Roddick calls someone a gift to this sport, it is not promotional language. It is not podcast filler. It is a former champion putting his reputation on a player's character.
And he did not just say it.
He explained why. The self-awareness, the pragmatism, the ability to exist in the eye of the popularity storm without losing perspective. These are not skills you learn in media training. These are not traits you fake in a 30-minute podcast. Roddick has interviewed enough players to know the difference. He sat across from Eala and saw something the WTA desperately needs more of. A young star who understands that talent without maturity is just noise. This is not just about one player's path. This is about what the tour needs to maintain momentum in Asia, where tennis viewership is rising rapidly, but local stars capable of supporting that growth remain rare. Eala is about to test whether her hardcore success translates to clay. Linz this week, Stuttgart in 2 weeks, Madrid after that, Roland Garros waiting at the end of May. Tournament directors across Europe are paying attention. Not because she is a feel-good story, because she sells tickets, because she brings Filipino fans to stadiums and cities that have never seen that kind of diaspora energy, because she gives the WTA something it has struggled to create naturally. A young, marketable, emotionally intelligent star who can handle the spotlight without collapsing under it. Roddick's endorsement speeds up that timeline. When a former Grand Slam champion publicly declares you a gift to this sport, sponsors start reaching out. Wildards become easier to secure. The narrative shifts from promising prospect to future face of the tour. The stakes just expanded beyond Manila, beyond Asia. Eala is now carrying expectations on a global scale, and according to the man who just interviewed her, she is the rare 20-year-old built to handle it. The mooch of a loss in Miami was not close. 6-0, 6-2 is the kind of scoreline that humbles even the most confident players. Eala faced the 13th seed and got dismantled in under an hour. No excuses, no public statements blaming fatigue or the schedule. She absorbed the defeat, packed her bags, and moved forward to the next chapter. That is the pragmatism Roddick was talking about. Not the ability to avoid losses, the ability to process them without losing the thread of the bigger story, the 3-hour, 20-minute war, the Roddick confession, the gift to the sport. Andy Roddick did not just praise Alex. He admitted she possesses something he never had. Self-awareness in the eye of the storm. Pragmatism under the weight of national expectation. The kind of maturity that cannot be taught, only recognized by those who understand what it looks like. The WTA Tour needed exactly this player at exactly this moment. And she just stepped into Roddick's studio and proved she is already here. The clay swing begins this week in Linz. The question is not whether Eala can handle the pressure. Roddick already answered that. The question is whether the rest of the tour is ready for what comes next. Can Alex Eala translate her hardcourt dominance to clay, or will the surface expose the gaps Machiva found in Miami? This channel covers every step of the stories the mainstream is still trying to understand.
Subscribe now.
You're watching a player Roddick called a gift to the sport. And every match from here forward is part of that story. The clay debut happens this week.